Borley Rectory was a house that gained infamy as the most haunted house in England, after being described as such by psychic researcher Harry Price. Built in 1862 to house the rector of the parish of Borley and his family, it was badly damaged by fire in 1939 and demolished in 1944. The large Gothic-style rectory in the village of Borley had been alleged to be haunted ever since it was built. These reports multiplied suddenly in 1929 after the Daily Mirror published an account of a visit by paranormal researcher Harry Price, who wrote 2 books supporting claims of paranormal activity. Borley Rectory was constructed on Hall Road near Borley Church by the Reverend Henry Dawson Ellis Bull in 1862. He moved in 1 year after being named rector of the parish. The house replaced an earlier rectory on the site that had also been destroyed by fire in 1841. The first paranormal events reportedly occurred in 1863, since a few locals later remembered having heard unexplained footsteps within the house at about that time of night. On the 28th of July 1900, 4 daughters of the rector saw what they thought was the ghost of a nun at twilight about 40 yards from the house. They tried to talk to it, but it disappeared as they got closer. The family were very convinced that they had seen an apparition on several occasions. They also witnessed other puzzling incidents, such as a phantom coach driven by 2 headless horsemen. Bull died in 1892, and his son, the Reverend Harry Foyster Bull, took over the living. On 9th of June 1927, Harry Bull died and the rectory again became vacant. In the following year, on the 2nd day of October, the Reverend Guy Eric Smith and his wife moved into the house. Soon after moving in, Smith's wife, while cleaning out a cupboard, came across a brown paper package containing the skull of a young woman. Shortly after, the family reported a variety of incidents, including the sound of servants' bells ringing despite their being disconnected. Lights appeared in windows and there were unexplained footsteps. In addition, Smith's wife believed she saw a horse-drawn carriage at night. The Smiths contacted the media, asking to be put in touch with the Society for Psychical Research. On the 10th of June 1929, the newspaper sent a reporter who promptly wrote the first in a series of articles detailing the mysteries of Borley. The paper also arranged for Harry Price, a paranormal researcher, to make his first visit to the house. He arrived on the 12th of June, and immediately phenomena of a new kind appeared, such as the throwing of stones, the throwing of a vase, and other objects. Spirit messages were tapped out from the frame of a mirror. As soon as Price left, these ceased. The Smiths left Borley on 14th of July 1929, and the parish had much difficulty in finding a replacement. The following year, the Reverend Lionel Foyster, a cousin of the Bulls, moved in. He wrote an account of the strange incidents that occurred. These included bell ringing, windows shattering, throwing of stones and bottles, wall writing, and the locking of their daughter in a room with no key. His wife wrote of strange poltergeist phenomena that included her being thrown from her bed. On one occasion, she was struck by something horrible. Foyster tried twice to conduct an exorcism, but his efforts were fruitless. In the middle of the first exorcism, he was struck in the shoulder by a fist-sized stone. The Foysters left Borley in October 1935 as a result of his ill health. Borley remained vacant for some time after the Foysters' departure. In 1937, Price took out a year-long rental agreement. Price recruited a corps of 48 official observers, mostly students, who spent periods, mainly during weekends, at the rectory with instructions to report any phenomena that occurred. A séance was conducted. Price reported they had made contact with two spirits, the first of which was that of a young nun who identified herself as Marie Lair. According to the story, Marie was a French nun who left her religious order and travelled to England to marry a member of the Waldegrave family, the owners of Borley's 17th century manor house. She was said to have been murdered in the building, and her body either buried in the cellar or thrown into a disused well. The wall writings were alleged to be her pleas for help. One read, "Marianne, please help me get out." The second spirit identified himself as Sunex Amuse and claimed that he would set fire to the rectory at 9 o'clock that night, 27th of March 1938. He also said that, at the time, the bones of another murdered person would be revealed. On the 27th of February 1939, the new owner of the rectory, a Captain W.H. Gregson, was unpacking boxes and accidentally knocked an oil lamp over in the hallway. The fire quickly spread and the house was severely damaged. After investigating the cause of the blaze, the insurance company concluded that the fire had been started deliberately. A Miss Williams from nearby Borley Lodge said she saw the figure of a ghostly nun in the upstairs window. In 1943, Price conducted a dig in the cellars of the ruined house and discovered the bones of a young woman. The bones were given to a Christian burial in Liston churchyard after the parish of Borley refused to allow the ceremony to take place on account of the local opinion that the bones were not human. After Price's death in 1948, the Daily Mail accused him of faking phenomena. The Society for Psychical Research, two of whom had been Price's most loyal associates, published a book called The Haunting of Borley Rectory, which concluded that Price had fraudulently produced some of the phenomena. The Borley Report, as it has become known, stated that many of the phenomena were faked or due to natural causes such as rats and the strange acoustics attributed to the odd shape of the house. Marianne Foster, later in life, denied having seen apparitions and said the alleged ghostly noises were probably caused by the wind. Many legends about the rectory had been invented. The children of Reverend Harry Bull, who lived in the house, claimed to have seen nothing and were surprised, as it being described as England's most haunted house. However, Robert Hastings was one of the researchers to defend Price. His literary executors have also defended Price against accusations of fraud. A similar approach was made by Ivan Banks in 1996. Michael Coleman, in an SPR report in 1997, wrote, "Price's defenders are unable to rebut the criticisms convincingly. So what do you think? Was Borley Rectory the most haunted house in the world? Did Price fake many of the phenomena? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching.